Listen closely. Your recovery isn't a negotiation with the world. Here's what the Stoics understood that most people miss. Nothing outside of you has the power to break you unless you hand over that power willingly. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That's not philosophy. That's survival instruction for the battlefield of recovery. Every day, life will throw circumstances at you. Bad news, toxic people, financial stress, relationship drama, health problems, and every single one of those things will whisper the same lie. This is too much. You deserve a break. Just this once won't hurt. But you're building something those external circumstances can't touch. You're building an unshakable inner fortress. Epictetus taught his students to divide everything into two categories: what's in your control and what isn't. And here's the brutal truth. Almost nothing is in your control except your thoughts, your judgments, and your choices. Your partner's behavior, not yours. Other people's opinions, not yours. The past, already gone. But your response to all of it? That's your territory. That's your kingdom. And in recovery, that kingdom is the only thing that matters. When someone disrespects you, you don't control their words. But you control whether those words become your relapse trigger or your motivation to prove them wrong. When the bills pile up, you don't control the economy, but you control whether financial stress becomes your excuse to relapse or your reason to stay sharp and focused. When loneliness hits at 3 in the morning, you don't control the emptiness, but you control whether you fill it with poison or with purpose. Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Read that again. Your mind will create disasters that haven't happened yet. It'll replay failures from years ago. It'll convince you that one drink, one pill, one bet won't matter. That's your mind trying to protect you from discomfort by leading you back to familiar destruction. Don't let it. The Stoics practice something called negative visualization, imagining the worst that could happen so they'd never be caught off guard. In recovery, this is your armor. Imagine your trigger situations before they arrive. See yourself at that party where everyone's drinking. Watch yourself receive that devastating phone call. Picture yourself alone on a Friday night with money in your pocket and demons in your head. Now decide right now, in this moment of clarity, exactly who you'll be when those situations arrive. Because here's what separates warriors from casualties in recovery: preparation. You don't wait until you're triggered to figure out your response. You don't wait until you're weak to remember your strength. You build your defense system now, in the quiet moments, so when the storm hits, you're already unmovable. Marcus Aurelius faced plague, war, betrayal, and personal tragedy, yet he wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Every obstacle in your recovery isn't stopping your progress. It's creating it. That craving you push through, it didn't weaken you. It proved your strength. That person who tried to pull you back, they didn't hurt you. They showed you who to remove from your circle. That moment of crushing doubt, it didn't break you. It taught you that you're stronger than your worst thoughts. Nothing external has power over you unless you give it meaning. And in recovery, you get to choose what everything means. Does a bad day mean you're failing, or does it mean you're human and still fighting? Does a trigger mean you're weak, or does it mean you're being tested and refined? Does temptation mean you're doomed, or does it mean you're alive and getting stronger every time you say no? The Stoics understood something profound. Suffering is inevitable, but misery is optional. You will face hard days in recovery. You will experience loss, pain, disappointment, and fear. But whether those experiences destroy you or build you is entirely up to your interpretation and response. You are not a leaf blown by every wind. You are the mountain that watches storms pass by. Epictetus was born a slave, crippled by his master, yet became one of history's greatest philosophers. He taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Your past doesn't define your recovery. Your circumstances don't determine your sobriety. Your environment doesn't control your choices. You do. Only you. When external things try to affect you, when people judge you, when opportunities disappear, when life gets overwhelmingly hard, remember this: they're testing your commitment to the only thing that's truly yours. Your mind, your will, your decision to stay free. Build your mind like a fortress. Stock it with truth, not excuses. Reinforce it with discipline, not comfort. Guard it with awareness, not distraction. And when the world launches everything it has at your walls, rejection, temptation, pain, chaos, you'll stand unmoved because you've prepared for this. You've trained for this. You are built for this. The Stoics didn't avoid hardship. They used it. They transformed every obstacle into fuel for their growth. And you're doing the same thing right now in your recovery. Every challenge that doesn't break you is making you unbreakable. Every temptation you resist is building resistance. Every day you choose sobriety over comfort is proving that external circumstances bow to internal strength. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "You have survived everything you've been through so far. You'll survive whatever comes next." You're not hoping to stay sober. You're not trying to make it through. You're surviving, adapting, and conquering. Nothing outside of you, no person, no situation, no circumstance, has the authority to take that away unless you surrender it. So don't surrender it. Not today, not ever. Let the world do whatever it does. Let people say whatever they say. Let circumstances shift however they shift. You remain constant. You remain focused. You remain free. That's not just Stoic philosophy. That's your reality now. Nothing affects you in recovery because you've decided nothing gets that power anymore. You are the authority over your mind, and your mind has chosen freedom. Stand in that truth like the warrior you are. If this message hit you where you needed it, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone fighting their own battle. Hit that subscribe button and join the Stoic Addiction Warriors. Because we're building an army of people who refuse to let anything break them. Drop a comment and tell me what obstacle you're conquering today. Your recovery is your power. Protect it like your life depends on it, because it does. Now go be unstoppable. This is the Stoic Addiction Warrior.